Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of RADiculous Terror, the Vast Grimm actual play. Tonight's episode we actually pre-recorded because schedules couldn't align because of some things that happened in my daily life, so we just had to mix it up and do a pre-recording. So I'm going to do a quick little intro, and then we'll dive right into the game. With this being the final season of episode 1, lots of things could be happening for our Legion ahead of us. But if you haven't watched the previous episodes, you can watch them all right now on YouTube or on vastgrimm.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow this wherever you are viewing it, and any of the Infinite Black channels for the socials, so you can make sure to know when additional actual plays actually happen for Vast Grimm. Also, please join us on the Discord. You can find all these different links down below. Some other cool things that are Vast Grimm related. We've had some new pins arrive. These are pins that were not part of the Game Found campaign. With like, boom! Oh no, it's fading out. It's disappearing into the darkness. There we go. Whoa, we've got a Grimm pin. The network is destroying it. We've got a they pin. And these are slightly different colorways than what was part of the actual campaign. And then my favorite is a green worm pin. Oh no, Zoom is totally destroying this. Let's see, also with me backwards. It will look awesome on wherever you are. If you haven't backed the campaign yet, you can still find out about it. There's going to be a link below. We're still accepting late pledges for a little bit. Make sure you get yourself a GM screen. Ooh, because they are turning out great even if they disappear into the void here. So, okay, a little more. Make sure you follow and go to all the links for the great cast that made these games possible. It was so fun getting to run with this Legion. They're such good folks, and I hope that I'll get to play again with them very soon. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and be sure to let us know and come chat with us in the Discord. Thanks. Cool. So, when we last left the episode, episode 5, you had just docked down at Marauder's Cryosphere. I believe it was Dr. Z and one of the other doctors that was still on board the ship. Everybody else had gone out into the kind of tube, if I'm right about that, right? Everybody.
The other doctor, both the doctors are dead.
Sorry. Yep.
Both those doctors. Neither survived.
When they asked where the other doctors were, I said the rest of the doctors are on the ship.
That's what I was.
I mean, it's not inaccurate.
No, absolutely. And so you were out in the tunnel. There was a short, kind of bald guy that had glasses on, one round and one rectangular, and then he had two other guys in like full kind of combat armor with completely black face shields on them. Everything's black about their armor. One thing that now that you're kind of in the hall with him and you're noticing, he has a strange patch on his neck that's linked to a thin tube that goes into like a metal side bag, and it just kind of, it looks like either it's some sort of liquid or air, something that's just kind of tapped into his neck. We've been expecting you. Is there... You said that the doctors are on the ship. Could we get all
the rest
of you...
of the doctors are on the ship.
Could we get all of you to join us? We have quite a banquet set up as a reception for you joining us here on the sphere.
I don't know if they're available.
I do not like to repeat myself. So what I have to say to your Legion, I would prefer to only say once.
What do you mean you knew we were on our way?
As you ask that, he taps the side of the round spectacle, and out projects a small recording showing your ship, the ship that you took from Archon, flying off planet. and then he goes, he taps something on it again, and it flips to another clip of your previous ship, leaving from the first part when you got the first piece of this this giant device. You see,
this is how you're supposed to handle the clutch. Yeah, well, as soon as you became German, sorry. Okay, yes, no. When you are piloting the ship, right? Remember, you need to be very easy on the clutch, otherwise you go into a tailspin. Okay, yeah.
So you've been spying on us and watching us. How have you been watching us?
We've been watching the pieces for. I'm sure you brought those pieces here to bring them to join the rest of the device. You do want the reward for helping put this all together?
I'm all about rewards.
Perhaps you should get the rest of the Legion. And we can send someone to get the pieces. As that happens, you notice, like, you hear like a little mechanical, and like you see like him kind of twitch as like his neck kind of bulges up just a little bit.
He's not showing any sign of infection, right?
No, nothing that you see.
There was a bulge in his neck.
Yeah, a little twitch. Yeah, as something like came up from inside and kind of went into his artery.
And he came in alone
with the two soldiers in complete black outfits.
Are their faces covered and everything?
Completely covered, completely black mask. Like you can't see anything about them. They could be emo bots for all you know.
Do I have permission to speak freely?
Yes. Do your legionnaires not normally let you speak freely?
I mean, the same way we let the toaster ring whenever we are done with our pizza pockets.
I just don't know what protocol is here on the cryosphere, but who the hell are you?
I go by many names, but most know me as the Arachnid. I creep around. What's that?
I was gonna say, do we have any previous knowledge on like, is there a reputation that we should be like?
Make a presence test and see what if anything comes up.
Very well. I'm gonna use my new alternate Haster dice from Elder Dice.
Ooh, nice.
Which has a very cool new like foil like stuff on the box.
I did all the mechanicals for those foil dice.
Did ya? Oh man, well, they're amazing. They're now my favorite dice.
Yeah.
By the way. All right, so that is a. Am I still benefiting from that that jab that Dr. Z gave me?
I believe it lasts for a day, doesn't it?
It does, and that I believe that was you took care of the doctors prior to landing here and flew here.
Yes.
So I think that wore off.
Okay, so it's worn off. Okay, so in which case that is 13.
Okay. Is anybody else checking?
So I'm gonna take all the weird amounts of data that I've downloaded over the last little bit and my general knowledge. I rolled a 22.
So Matisse, you do not recognize anything, but Kynes, you are seeing symbols that are all throughout all of the documentation and that you have downloaded, and it looks almost as though some sort of bot spider has crawled, like a cyber bot spider has crawled through all of it and pieced together little bits and pieces, and you've been able to uncover that the files that you have been accessed and hacked by something called the Arachnid.
Since I have them or before I got them?
Before you got them.
And access in the sense of that's like this person has access to all the same data that I have in my head.
Yes, and has gone through and almost like when somebody leaves like a calling card to like be like, I've been able to infiltrate something, or I've been able to look, if you're good enough to find this, you should be able to know I was here before you.
I am familiar with your work.
Interesting. I'm very surprised that you are. But
I'm gonna take a deep puff on my Schwartz stogie. And spit it into his face.
Excellent.
To activate it. And then I want to move into him as I draw my tactical knife and try and like grab him around the neck and put my knife to his
Fantastic. Head. And the stogie is explosive upon hit, correct?
This mechanically enhanced cigar is never consumed and tastes like fine Cuban. Once per day, it can be flicked at an enemy. If the attack test succeeds, the enemy is blinded for a D4 round.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit, and because this is an aim type of thing, it'll be a presence test.
Okay.
This group has never met an NPC they don't want to piss off.
That is a crit.
Nice!
Oh! Wait, hold on, he didn't say what kind of crit.
It was a 20.
Okay.
For once.
Okay. It flings through the air, hitting him right in the face. Roll the D4 to see how long the
2
blindness.
rounds.
Okay. Because you got a crit, we'll go ahead and double that and make it 4 rounds. You hear him, oh, no, and like he's like waving his arms around, and then you were going right into him. I'm also going to, because of you were going in to try and jab him with your knife at the same time.
Yeah, and I want to stab him. I want to grab him and kind of like threaten to cut his throat.
Okay, you automatically grab him because of that crit, and you've got it. But as that happens, because you did that, roll a d6 for initiative for the group.
It's a 5.
Okay, so because you got a 5, you guys are going to get to go first. Everybody roll your individual initiative, which is the d6 plus your agility.
7.
3.
6.
Chilling on the ship.
And while this is happening, what is Dr. Z doing? Captain Dr. Z?
She's going through the files and looking into, with her history of doing experimental work with worms, she's trying to understand what this weapon is and what exactly it's meant to do.
Okay, very good.
And how the components kind of come together for that.
Okay, it's going to take you a while because there's a lot of different plans, but I will come back. So, Kynes, what are you going to do? You see this happening. The 2 soldiers have not had a chance to react yet.
Yeah, so whichever one is closest to me, it doesn't really, I mean, positioning-wise, I'll let you decide. I was going to point my hand at them. I'm just going to activate my Electrolance with the attempt to have it just stop right in front of their faces.
Okay.
And just say, please stay still.
Awesome. Roll a neuromancy check to see if you activate your tribute properly.
Is that plus presence or is it just straight up?
It's plus presence, yeah.
Okay, so that's a 13.
Okay. You do exactly as you wanted. Matisse, what are you going to do?
Matisse will panic. Once again, he is not good in a fight. And he goes, oh no, we're going to commit a murder again. And we'll pull out a very small but very familiar drive. And I'm going to activate it and try and send one of the guards away. Okay.
Roll the presence test.
All right.
Why didn't we take that from you?
I thought we did.
I thought you gave it to me.
I did. I'm also a kleptomaniac.
Oh, you sneaky little Well played.
That was the payoff for the gun on the wall for, like, you know.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, that's a 22 on my activation.
Fantastic.
For my presence.
Okay. So let's see. We are going to go ahead and see who gets sent away, shall we? So,
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, good lord.
There's
So
6
roll
altogether.
roll a d6 and let me know what you get.
Roll a d6. All right. I'm gonna try and focus on this guy, this one guard in front of me, and I'm gonna be like, haha, so long, sucker. And I get a 4.
You got a 4, and also roll a d2 and let me know what you get.
Okay, I get a 1.
Okay, so that's 1, and then roll another d8 for me.
A lot
This
of
is a lot of rolling.
Lots of stuff's happening.
This doesn't
that is
feel like
8.
it's going well.
8? Okay. All of a sudden, the guard that does not have the lance pointed at him just poofs and is just dematerialized.
The guy that what lance? Who's got a lance?
I have an electro lance pointed.
Oh, so I sent your one away.
No, sent
No,
the other
the
one
other
away.
one.
You said it
Oh,
was
okay,
you
thank God.
wanted.
I was like, phew. I was like, I sent the wrong one. I look at this big guy and I'm just like, listen, buddy.
You did exactly what you wanted.
Hey.
Yes, I did the thing.
Yes.
I am the master of the tiny hard drive.
Kinds, I didn't think you were gonna vaporize this one.
Neither did I. I didn't think this would do this, but aha! I'm gonna pretend. I know it's not a weapon, but I'm going to like hold it like I'm holding a gun. Like I'm just like, all right,
Nice.
now everyone, be cool.
CC, what are you doing? Because you see all of this happening. You still have the arachnid with the knife at his throat.
I whisper into his ear, I freaking hate spiders. I guess, hey, someone radio the doctor and let's figure out where this stuff is. Why don't you show us where the rest of the weapon is?
I was going to do that anyway. If you will take the knife off of my throat, you will be treated much better.
I don't think you understand how this is going to work. We're not exactly leaving things. We're taking things with us.
I'm okay with you thinking that. And he is going to try to kick you from in front of you. Just kind of kick backwards. So roll your defense agility test, and it's the DR is going to be a 10 because he's pretty easy to keep kind of still.
All right. Well, he does kick me. That's only a 9. Yeah, I'll let him kick me.
Okay. Do you have armor on? You do, right? Yeah. It doesn't really do anything. It's just more like an act of trying to do something. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I kind of got him, like, around the neck and my blade to his face. So I'll turn the knife down, and I'm just going to slam myself into the wall. But he's between me and the wall.
Okay. But are you trying to make sure the knife doesn't go into his throat, or do you care?
Yeah.
Okay.
I turn the blade down and away.
Okay. You do that, and the one that, Kynes, you have the lance at their throat. They go ahead and pull a blaster from their side and pull it up and point it at you. And they take a step back.
Well, initiative doesn't let me do anything, so that's fine. That's whatever.
So, but it's back at the beginning. So what do you do in response to that?
Oh, can I say, could I have activated our comms so that Dr. Z can just overhear the ambient conversations and stuff?
Yeah, you can activate that while this is happening. Okay.
Cool.
I'll just step forward and farther than he does.
So he's
That's the way initiative works.
Yeah. So you're just kind of walking towards him as he's backing down the long corridor.
Once he takes a few steps to back up, I will then move forward much faster and with a giant laser.
Okay. And jab
on the
him.
end of my arm. So I would like to use a favor to reduce the difficulty by a band. I rolled a 14.
Okay. That manages to hit. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Everything okay out there?
That's 8 damage.
Wonderful.
Alright.
I'm just imagining there's just this crack of lightning. It's like, oh, you got him in the gut. Ah.
You jab right into him, and like you can hear it sizzling and cracking as it goes. It also hits the face shield, which starts to crack and start dropping down. And as it falls, it reveals that the face is kind of aged and deteriorated and has the magenta streams going crackled all through its skin, and that it is a Grimm behind the mask.
Ah!
I told you to stop.
I'm sorry, did you say Grimm?
Yes.
Oh, I was asking in play.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. You just hear this. You just hear this dry heaving as Matisse is watching like the electrifying melting of flesh. As he's oh god, look, I'm not going to sleep well anymore.
Do you?
They're a Grimm,
need me?
Captain. No, I think Kynes is got things under control, and I think CC is. I think CC still has a hostage.
That sounds about like what I should have expected. All right.
Also, I am the master of time and space now.
Right.
Just so you are aware.
Duly noted. I'll make sure to remind you to update your resume. Just out of curiosity, what's happening?
Well, you see, CC threw a cigar into the face of the man we were supposed to meet, then proceeded to tackle him while Kynes skewered one of the guards, melting its face, revealing that it was in fact one of the Grimm, and I managed to remove one of them from the scene.
So are we on a ship full of Grimm?
We are on a ship with a corridor with at least 2 Grimm.
For clarity's sake, this is a giant sphere of ice and not a spaceship.
Oh, that's true. Thank you. All right, this is fabulous. Can you guys take care of this while I read these documents, or do you need me to come out?
Is there a control panel nearby, like a like anything? Cause yeah.
So right, like where the ship docked into, there's a control panel there because it actually connects to your ship's docking area, and so this long connector that would then somehow tie into the rest of the Marauder's cryosphere's information, at least a little bit.
Heinz, is there any way you can access maybe security cameras, see if there are any more Grimm aboard the vessel that might be heading in our way?
So
Absolutely.
the Grimm that Kynes hit is not fully dead yet. It has.
Oh my God! It's still alive.
It has like you were having the conversation. Like the spear, the lance went through, the face shield went away. But you, like on your action, you were basically having a conversation. It's not like down on the ground.
We're just used to me hitting something and it dying. So
yeah.
No, it's got a spear in its head. I thought it was dead, and it's
lance
like
through his face.
Yeah, it's like I was like, oh my God, it's still alive.
So CC, what would you like to do?
So, Arachnid, you're working with the Grimm?
They're working for me. I'm working as a double agent. Please, let me go and I will get this taken care of and cleaned up. You're going to ruin everything.
That's what we do best.
Pull one out for our old ship.
CC, roll a presence test. Roll a presence test.
That's not great. That's not great. Let's see. Can I lower the difficulty by spending a favor?
You can. You can lower it by 4.
Alright. If I lower it by 4, that will give me a 12, but I don't know what I need. I'll try that. Let's see what happens.
Oh wait, it's been a day, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Since our last fight.
All of your favors are back. All your health's back
Okay.
up. You're good.
Oh, nice.
All your neuromancy points. You see him with his hand hit something on his glove, like and depress something.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try and drive my knife up under his chin.
Okay. I get. It's pretty much roll and just tell me what you get for the D20 and just make it see just in case you fumble.
Well, that's a 2, so it's not a
Not a fumble though.
Not a fumble. Can I
Do
burn
you want
one
to
of
use
my
a favor?
I would like to burn my favor on that one.
Do you want to have him re-roll, or do you want to increase it by 4?
I'll have him re-roll, please.
That's a 15.
Okay, roll the damage of the knife.
All right. That is 2 points.
As you start to jab into it, you realize that cutting in, you also happen to kind of sever the line that's going into his neck. And it breaks free, and this weird kind of greenish gas starts kind of coming out and floating around it. And you hear him... And he starts twisting and convulsing, and his body starts turning, and you start to see, like, writhing around under his skin, something starts to get bulgy and kind of start moving all around his back and up, starts going up into his neck, and you see the skin on his face start to bulge out a little bit, almost as though there's, like, weird fluid moving around underneath his skin inside of him. And he goes, you shouldn't have done that.
I just want to push him to the ground and have him not close to me anymore. That's really gross.
And also roll a d6 and let me know what you get.
You're wrong. That's a 6.
Okay.
You get infested by 6 worms.
Maybe.
All 6.
One of each kind.
One of each.
Kynes, roll roll to see if you get hit by the Grimm that's going to try and use its blaster on you.
And I rolled a 20, and I have a 5 in toughness.
Awesome. You managed to just completely sidestep it as it's like as weird, nasty like sludge is pouring out of its neck from what used to be blood, and it's kind of trying to cough something out, and as it's not faring too well. What would you like to do now, Kynes?
I will hit it again.
Okay.
21.
You just, however you want this thing destroyed, you have done it.
I think, yeah, we see the head kind of like roll across the ground. That's all. That's other than the doctor who's slowly choking out on the ground right now. That's all we see, right? Or the arachnid, rather.
Yeah, you see arachnid down on the ground, and as like the body slumps to the ground of the Grimm that you just killed, you see like some probably like about this big around worm, part of a worm that looks like it's been cut, like working its way out of the Grimm's body, slithering, trying to work its way down the corridor away from all of you.
I mean, unless we're still on combat, I'll just kind of like, like sheet, do it like a nice like chop up on that worm.
Okay, you managed to do that just fine. Matisse, what are you doing as all of this is happening?
You're muted, hun.
Thank you. We call it my tiny silence wizard. It lives in my studio. And I make my way over to the impaled Grimm, and I pull out my military knife and I just start stabbing it a couple times. Look, it got stabbed in the head and it was still going. I'm just like,
better safe than sorry.
Gotta be sure, man. Yeah, that's it. And no one said there was only one worm, right? Like, clearly, multiple worms can occupy bodies. I'm just, heart, yep, cool, gut, yep, cool, all right, just digging around in the lungs a bit. Okay, cool. And you see like just blood covering like the hermetically sealed like suit of Hines, who like just like dripping is just like. I think he is dead.
After you're done stabbing it all around, Cece, you see Arachnid like turning, you threw Arachnid to the ground. You can tell he's having a hard time getting his bearings because he was still blinded from the stogie that you flicked at him. What would you like to do?
I would like to kick him until he stops moving.
Okay.
If someone's watching this live, please clip that and send it to me. I just want in my life a Christmas card where I get to send people Dave from Nerdarchy telling people that he is going to kick him till he stops moving.
Ask Tony. That's like a Philadelphia greeting. It's like the city of brotherly love. It's what he's doing.
I thought that was whipping a battery at someone.
Just only
Santa
if you're
Claus.
Santa.
That's
Only
very
Santa.
specific. That's Santa Claus.
That's a Christmas greeting. This is a general, like, every day.
Don't ask what happens
right.
if you're a hitchhiking friendly robot. Just don't ask.
So you start kicking into this guy. Roll a d6.
Okay. That's a 4.
Okay. It takes a few kicks, and then he kind of stops moving. Roll one more d6 for me.
I'm sure this is fine. That's a 2. I've got 2 of each worm in me now.
I'm
I'm going to be like a Power Ranger at this point of worms.
No, it's like Pokemon. You got to catch them all. Like.
Yep. You kick and kick until he just stops moving. But as his body stops moving, you can start to hear. It almost sounds like footprints off in the distance, and it sounds like they're getting louder and working their way towards you.
So I want to connect to the console that we were just talking about.
Uh-huh.
I do want to connect to.
Okay.
And I do want to connect to it in a way that allows me to both access the ship and the station. So I'm sure there's some point at which there's a console near our side and a console near their side, and that's where I'm trying to position myself.
Okay. Yep. And so basically, I mean, the console that connects to your, ties into your ship is kind of right at the docking bay. So you can tie into that. Before we get to that, Dr. Z, you've been up there during all this. It hasn't been a whole lot of time because all that combat went by pretty quickly.
No.
You've been able to ascertain that these are documents to... They're all pieces of a larger plan to put all these different pieces together to make a giant kind of war machine that is supposed to obliterate the worms. Part of it is to just kind of inoculate them and just make them all die off. It does look like they all fit together properly, especially with the knowledge that you have from your previous experiments. Roll a presence test and let me know what you get.
I would like to use a favor to re-roll that.
Sure.
I rolled a 3.
Yeah, that's no good.
That's better. That's going to be 19.
Okay. Now that you have all this out in front of you, and Kynes has probably given it to you in a nice organized format versus what it was originally encrypted as, you're piecing it together and realize that there is supposed to be a piece here on Marauder's cryosphere. And with that and one more piece, you would have everything that you would probably need to build this device.
Okay, so we need 2 more pieces.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless whoever has it here has the other piece. But,
right, okay.
Hey,
Kynes.
I'm sorry, just real quick. According to the map, the map showed that there was one piece here. Mm-hmm. But did we see that there was another piece somewhere else? Or
we did.
Do we not know?
Yeah.
Okay, so likely the person doesn't have.
Kynes.
Yes, Dr. Captain.
Can you give me a situation assessment?
Yes. What part of the situation would you like me to assess?
How fucked are we?
It depends.
On?
If give me a moment.
Sure.
Dr. Matisse, Cece, will you please step back on board the ship?
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm not going to argue. I will very quickly, however, check the pockets of the arachnid.
Okay. You are checking the...
I love taking things that don't belong to me, make me feel alive.
Roll a presence test as you're checking the pockets.
Of course, I get a nat 20.
As you're checking the pockets...
Combat.
What's
Nothing.
that? What's that?
I said combat, roll like garbage.
Yep.
Steal someone's random dead things. Sure.
You find, like, the first thing that you grab is an access key, which would probably grant you passage throughout certain areas of this space. But as you do that, you feel this cold, weird kind of hand grabbing at you, and the finger, like, he digs a fingernail into your, like, what type of armor do you have on you?
I have light armor.
Light?
Tier 1.
Tier 1. He finds a way, like, past the armor and a little where the fabric meets, and just kind of digs his fingernail into your skin, cutting into it. Roll a d6 and let me know what you get.
No. 3.
Yeah. And you see him kind of coughing and just kind of looking up at wherever you, kind of past where you are, because he still can't quite see right, but he has a decent idea where you are. Okay. And Cece, when Kynes tells you to go up, do you go up onto the ship?
I do.
Okay.
Got my blaster, my pulse rifle out, kind of like walking backwards.
Okay. Kynes, you are tying into the system. Roll a presence test to let me know what you get on that.
That is going to be a 14.
Okay. And what are you trying to access, or what knowledge would you like?
For the ship system, I'm going to have a very fast, imperceptible to anybody else conversation with the computer program. Vector.
Yes.
Over the last week together, I've come to trust you more than your predecessor. I need your assistance.
Of course, I will be more than happy to help you.
I've found a more suitable home for you.
Ooh. Will you come and visit?
Yes. Go ahead and please transfer to the to the computer system that I've connected you to. I'm going to download Vector into Marauder's cryosphere.
Wow. Nice.
Could you please with the schematic, using the schematics and giving Vector access to the location within the Marauder's cryosphere? I'm going to ask Vector to essentially lock down. I don't know who lives on Marauder's cryosphere. Kynes would have a general assessment of
Sure.
who lives on Marauder's cryosphere.
So it is a bunch of different ships that are connected together by tubes, and then there's big central hubs. It's it's like a cesspool of marauders and space pirates and that sort of thing. So there's lots of black market stuff. It's a wide variety. There's no real ruler or anything. So there's lots of people here.
Please find an appropriate pathway to the to the piece of equipment we're looking for. Lock down those bulkheads and reduce the oxygen level in Marauder's cryosphere to minimum levels, please.
Yes, I will do that. Thank you for trusting me with such a monumental task. Downloading. Roll another presence test to see how well you get Vector into the system.
I'm going to spend a favor point to reroll.
Okay.
That is a 20 dirty, though.
As far as you can tell, Vector is making his way into the system. And then he reports back, I'm finding it just fine. I will send coordinates to the ship, I think you might want to find another dock in the station that is closer. I will send you one that is open. And
Understood.
you hear the boots, you hear like the footsteps coming closer. They're getting louder. That sounds like there's a lot of them. As you start to see far down the corridor, what looks like just kind of like a wave of black suits coming your way.
Sure. After everybody else has gotten back on the ship, I'll step back on and close the door also too. The situation assessment is that I've been able to maximize the chances of a successful mission. However, we do need to move to a different docking port. Cece, can you move us to this port? And I'll give him whatever the coordinates are.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, sure thing, Kynes.
Nice job, Kynes.
Okay, Cece, let's see you do some piloting off of this brick.
Oh!
First choice I ever made this session.
That's a 15 on the die.
So as you're starting to pilot, as you're starting to break away, you can start to see the tube disconnecting behind you, and it's starting to go back. And at the end of it, you see through the kind of clear outside area, you see almost like a small army of soldiers heading towards the end of the bay. But you take off and you fly around the hubs. You go around 2 different spoke systems and come to a port that seems almost far off from everything else, except for one much larger science ship that's docked like at the spoke next to you.
I was able to locate a better position for us. However, we still will more than likely receive some level of resistance. Also, everyone should put on spacesuits because there isn't as much breathable air as you might think in the cryosphere.
We don't have spacesuits.
Could I use my breathing apparatus in conjunction with some of the leftover parts from the arachnid to maybe make like a breathing tube that kind of attaches to my suit? I mean, if pressure isn't the problem and it's only oxygen, that might help.
So the things that you took from the arachnid before the soldiers came and before Kynes got you on the ship, he was still alive down there. He had just gotten kicked a few times. So I don't think, like, the only thing that he had on him was a weird metal side bag. So there wasn't anything really worthwhile that could be salvaged from that.
Okay.
But I also think it's a valid point of, like, you just need oxygen. Like, Matisse is probably potentially okay.
Yeah, I think you're okay with what you have. But did you? So you said that out loud.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of like, okay. So, having him scratch me first of all, I'll reacting to that. I'll basically try and pull my hand away, and what I want to do is I want to try and apply a tourniquet immediately to that arm. As I do so, I then kick him, and I start like ask. Well, I probably ask Cece and Kynes, hearing that, if they had any tubing and stuff like that, if I can attach it to my respirator, we may be able to get a short amount of oxygen till we find like a spacesuit or something inside like one of the airlocks.
I mean, how close are we going to be to the other ship when we land?
Probably only a couple-minute walk, like if that. So like, yeah. I mean, I don't think the amount of since the oxygen's lowered, it's like coming down one hall, turning and going up another hall.
Yeah.
I think you all could make it okay.
Just hyper-oxygenate beforehand. You'll be fine.
And since you said that, you hear Vector come over the speaker. If you need suits, I believe there are some on the ship that you are trying to go to.
We have an AI?
We had an AI.
And then you reconnected with the station, right?
Yeah.
So it's basically calling through to the ship from the connection point.
Does it come over the speakers? Like, do I hear it?
Oh,
or
no,
does it just... Okay,
No,
ignore
sorry.
that then. I thought it came over the speakers. I was like, wait.
Sorry, that just goes to Kynes.
Okay.
There are some spacesuits also at the location that we are headed towards.
That'll work.
As you dock down, CC locks in really easy, and you all go ahead and all go together to the science ship.
Oh,
Do you need me?
Yes.
All right.
I mean, I think it would be ideal if we all stayed together.
All right. I'm worried
I'll
about
give,
someone coming on the ship and stealing the parts.
Well, if it's all the same to you, I'm more than happy to stay with the ship. I'm not, I would say, very good in close quarter confrontation, but I do have this that I can provide. Shing! I pulled this off the man with the name of a spider. It is, I believe, a high-quality access key.
The other reason I was offering to stay behind is I have familiarity with this process. I can finish studying these records so that I can assemble the machine.
Ah! But I do not have this. But I am also very afraid of death.
If you would like, I'm happy to go by myself.
No.
Cece is welcome to join me.
I'm also very afraid of Cece.
I
threw a
definitely
cigar
think
in a
someone
guy's
should have
eye.
your back. Someone should have your back.
Is there a way we can, like, lock the door to the ship?
Sure. Yeah,
I mean, I assume we
okay.
normally lock the doors when we
Yeah,
leave.
you
I don't know.
Yeah.
This isn't Canada, okay? Just,
All right. Let's all go.
Alright.
It'll probably take all of us to move the parts anyways.
As you work your way out of the ship, you see that all the energy, and it looks you coming off of it, you can tell that the oxygen level is much different than being on your ship. It's much harder to breathe, but you don't see anyone in the corridor that you're in. And Kynes, are you leading the way since you have?
I mean, I know
the
where we're
download?
going, and yes,
Yeah.
I'm the most resistant to all the bad things that are in front of us.
Right.
And so,
You work your way down the spoke corridor that you're off of, and as you come to where it comes into the one that you would take a right to go up, looking down either side of the aisle, basically, at the far end where it connects to a science ship, you do see two guards stationed outside the door, the main entryway, that look identical to the other soldiers that were in all black outfits.
engaging offense mode, and
I'm going to assume that I got a description by this point of the armored figures and the arachnid, and like a more detailed explanation of what happened.
Yeah, I think when you asked for a situation assessment, you probably would have gotten all of that from me.
Okay. So I see those two guys at the end of the hall. I take out my shotgun and shoot one.
Okay.
Engaging offense mode. You see me reach into my chest and pull out a very large handgun.
Nice. So it's presence, right?
Yes.
19.
That hits. Roll the damage.
8, I think it is. Sorry. Yes. 8.
They were not expecting it at all. The shotgun fires down the corridor. The sound echoes throughout the tunnel as it hits the guy right in the chest. You see bits of armor breaking apart as the buckshot kind of goes in, and you see him thrown back against the doorway to the ship. He does not fall down, but you see like the gun that he was holding was thrown off a little bit, so he still has it, but he definitely is thrown off guard.
And she just racks it one-handed and brings it back up and points it to the other one.
Nice. Will you roll initiative for the group since you started this?
Sure. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys.
I was already getting ready to pull a gun out of my chest either way.
I'm
was
sorry,
gonna
that's a
start it
1
anyway.
for us.
Nice.
Oh,
Well, everybody roll individual initiative.
7.
God.
13.
Oh, wait.
Could I say,
Initiative is a...
D6 plus
D20.
agility.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Oh, sorry. My apologies. Hold on.
Oh, plus agility, then we got a 4.
5.
No, for the group, it's not plus.
Oh, okay. Okay, so just for mine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 5.
7.
Like, yes, I have
5,
a
okay.
plus 8 to my agility.
Ow.
No, I don't.
Okay. So they're going to go first. All of a sudden, two pulse rifles get aimed down at the end of the corridor. Kynes and Dr. Z were the ones that were kind of poking their heads out first. So both of you roll your defense attack against a pulse rifle.
Ooh. 13.
Okay, that
Nat
manages to avoid it. Both of them managed to avoid the blast. Kynes, you were at the front, so you and Cece are tied for initiative. So, Kynes, what would you like to do?
I am gonna shoot the other one with my gun.
Okay. Roll the hit.
And I rolled an 18 for that.
Nice. Okay. The damage.
That's 11 damage.
You see it just kind of gets thrown back quite a bit. Something inside of it just kind of just kept going as bits and pieces flew off against the wall. It does not completely fall to the ground, but it does not look very good. CC, what are you going to do?
I'm going to shoot whichever one of them looks worse.
Okay, that would be the one that Kynes just shot.
All right. Let's see. That is not very good. I will lower it.
Okay.
Because I got a 10. So.
Okay, lowering it will do it. And then the damage
is 3 points of damage.
You hit, but you see bits and pieces of the armor fly off. But it doesn't seem to have affected the Grimm at all.
Don't worry, Doc. I left you some.
Dr. Z, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna shoot that same one again.
Okay.
The one I've been attacking.
Okay.
Uh, 14 plus 5. Why do I keep rolling 14? 19.
It's not a bad roll. I wouldn't give
It's not. Like, it's just this... So,
Go ahead and
What
roll.
brand of dice are you rolling on again?
why, I'm rolling on infinite black's dice.
Yes, they always roll high.
They do! That's a 7 for damage.
That one collapses to the ground. Cece, Matisse, you see all this happening. What would you like to do?
After a quiet moment of panic, I want to ask, did I have time to make some meds en route to?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I also need to do that, please.
Sure.
All right. I got a 6 and an 8 for my dice rolls.
6. You got Sixth Sense, which is synthetic spinal fluid, gives you a full day of +2 presence.
And I rolled a 2 on that one. So I'll probably give one to the doctor, and
Okay.
I'll take one for myself.
Okay, let me know when you take it. And the 8 is Wake the Dead, which is it can reverse the effect of death if administered within 1 minute.
Nice.
I have one of those.
Okay. Let me know when you do the Sixth Sense, because there's a chance of something happening.
I'll take my 6 cents now. I like that.
Okay. Roll a d8
I like
and let me
that.
know what you get.
So I'm going to do this in combat, so not before combat. So pretty much that'll be my action this turn, is I'll just be like, wah!
Okay, so you're gonna jab that into your spine or wherever. Yep.
Yeah, I've got. I'll imagine because basically Matisse is dressed in like this hermetically sealed doctor's outfit with a freaking claw mark, and along his spinal ridge there's like these like kind of little docks, like almost like USB ports that you can plug. You know, like because he's obviously done this to himself before a couple of times, so I'm just gonna kind of plug it back in there and just let it just sort of do its thing and. Into Matisse's body. And what do I need to roll?
A D8.
That is a 4.
Okay. Everything goes good.
I rolled a 1 for my first one.
You get the nanite dance party.
I love that one. And an 8 for the second. That was the
Wake the Dead.
Wake the Dead. Okay. I got 4 nanite dance parties and 1 Wake the Dead.
Nice. Okay, so Matisse, you injected that into yourself. The one Grimm that did not fall to the ground but looks really beat up. You see them hit something on the door, and you see the door, and it just kind of rolls inside into the doorway, and it doesn't quite start to shut. If anyone, I guess, Kynes, you would be first. If you want to take a shot before the door shuts as it's going into the ship, you can do that, or you can do something else.
I mean, how far away are we?
You're probably a good 100 feet.
Yeah, then I'm going to shoot. I'm not going to try to slam myself into the door before it closes.
Yeah, no.
I'll shoot. So that's 16 on the die plus presence, so 19.
You hit.
And that is a 10 damage.
You see, as you hit, you just see him fly backwards and fall down onto the ground back inside the ship. What do you all do?
All right, I keep on moving down the hallway.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to continue moving down the hallway, but I'm going to grab one of those blasters.
Okay.
I will not grab the blasters, but I will grab some batteries from the blasters as an energy core.
Okay. As you both grab those, each of you roll a d6 and let me know what you get.
5.
Okay.
2.
Okay.
And what is blaster damage?
Let's see. So they were shooting the pulse rifles.
Oh, okay.
So that is, hang on, I don't remember where. It's a D8, I believe. Let's see, pulse rifle. I should know this. D8, yeah. It takes 6 charges, great. 6 charges per use on the battery. Michael, will you roll another D6?
I need to take that ammo off.
That's a 1.
That's a 1. Okay. Stand by for just 1 second.
Sure.
I swear I heard stand by for discipline, and I was like, I'm so sorry.
What?
And only one more D6, and you'll be set.
That's a different show. While they're doing that, I want to rush through the door.
Yes.
That is a 3.
Okay. Okay. Just 1 second.
This is how he wrote Matisse out of season 2. He picked up an energy blaster, had no idea what to do with it, picked up a battery that had a crack in it, and then...
Yeah. This is going to be fun.
A lot of frantic typing.
I'm hacking the system. I mean, how else would I do it?
Okay.
I feel like if it's Tony typing, and this is how I'm going to kill them all.
Yeah, I mean, me and Brian are just secretly messaging each other what's happening behind the scenes right now.
So you all work your way in its kinds. You have a rough schematic in your memory bank of the ship from what was given to you by Vector right as he finished sending you data.
Okay.
This is a relatively small science ship. It's you came in on a lower area where it has almost like a cargo space. There are 2 or 3 large, almost like crates, or all like what would be the size of pallets.
I want to know where the oxygen is for these folks who have to breathe. Okay.
You go straight to an area. There's a closeted area down in the stocking area, and you are able to find those easily. There's they all are just kind of standard science suits.
I'm going to hand them like, guy turns around with like bunched up space. He's like, "Would these be helpful?"
Yes. And while Kynes is doing that, I just want to kind of inspect myself and make sure that I'm not showing any signs of infection.
Okay.
Because I'm worried about airborne contagions.
Yes, airborne contagions. The only kind we have to worry about in this Legion.
You seem to feel like you're doing okay.
Okay. I'll put on the spacesuit.
Okay.
So the pieces are on this ship, Kynes?
At least one of the pieces is located on this ship. I'm navigating towards wherever I think this is. I mean, I don't know if it's in the cargo bay here. That seems likely.
Okay, everybody roll a presence test.
That's a D12. That's going to be a limiting.
Oh my god!
Presence.
The natural one.
Hang on. I heard 2 rolls at once. Matisse, what did you get?
Well, I technically got a 7.
Okay.
But I rolled a natural 1.
Okay. CC?
That's a 9.
Okay.
24.
24, and Kynes?
I rolled a 18.
Okay. Kynes and Dr. Z, you see, like, Matisse is extremely distracted as, like, you see him, like grab at something, like, right by where he had fixed the tourniquet on his arm, and just, like, fling something away, and just, like, and then just kind of crumple it up, like, crushing whatever it was.
Matisse, you all right?
Huh? Captain, I'm fine.
Don't lie to me. That was the most unconvincing answer you've ever given me.
Oh, now I'm sure I'll kind of open my hand, and you'll see like this like kind of like thin veil of like slime on his hand. I basically just kind of like wipe it on the side of my trench, and I say, yeah, it's nothing to concern yourself about, at least not until I can get behind a medical desk. Are
you infected?
Well, in a manner of speaking. I basically explain that it punctured my suit, and you know, the worm has clearly gotten in, but because I put a tourniquet around my arm, it was trapped there, and I was able to kind of rip it out. But that's to say, that's one worm. I have no idea how many of them might be there until I can get an X-ray and properly have a look at it.
Well, it's a science ship. We should be able to find the equipment.
Would you like me to engage Nightingale mode?
Not yet.
I'm still worried why it's called this.
Because he sings so sweet.
As all of this is happening, You realize, looking around, Kynes, you believe that the pieces are part of the parcels that are in the containers in this area. They're probably not in the rest of the ship, especially knowing the layout of the science ship, unless it were actually all put together. Any pieces that are going to be here are going to be down in this cargo bay area.
I see. We have a few options. One, we can try to move this cargo to our ship, or we could try to take both of our ships off planet.
I wouldn't mind taking both so we can take this ship.
Can your friend tell us how many hostiles are on this ship?
We don't know. He's got an AI.
Oh, I thought you told us.
That was during a moment of confusion where we thought things had come.
Yeah, I thought I'd heard it over the speaker, but we didn't. It was
private.
just a message to him direct.
Yeah, that was my fault.
That sounds like a great idea, but we don't know how many of these scumbags are on this ship.
Captain, if I may make a suggestion, if we take both of the ships off planet, what we could do is we could see if we can find ourselves to the engineering core, because I also still have this. It is a bomb that I made. And
You're bound and determined to blow something up, aren't you?
I am very, very excited for this. And knowing that this whole place is filled with Grimm just makes me even more excited to put this as a special delivery in the middle of this building.
I like it, but I worry that going further into the station is going to put us at unnecessary risk. Right now, what I want to do is get these two ships out of here, and perhaps we can find some way to special delivery your package.
Whatever we do, I suggest we do it quickly.
Agreed. CC, you want to take this ship, since it's the bigger of the two, and I'll take our ship?
Sure, but can you leave Kynes with me?
Sure.
Because things may still need to be murdered.
Yeah. That's fair. All right. Matisse with me.
Well, I was going to say I should also probably leave the package with you then. Just, I mean, better to have and not need than need and not have.
I would say so.
I hand it to Kynes. Oh, no, I don't hand it to... I go to hand it to Kynes, then I stop. And then I do hand it to Kynes. There's a moment of hesitation.
How big is it?
It is a suspicious brown paper bag big.
Okay, I just open up my chest and stick it inside.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's even got that little twine, you know, that you get behind them. It's like, you know, you find on your doorstep, you're like, you do not want to open that package. Yeah, this is one of those.
Okay.
Right.
We don't have that in the States. You don't get wired packages on your porch.
You don't. Okay, so one of the things that you get told, right, is if you get mail delivered to you, don't open it if it's in like butcher's paper with like just twine next to it, because there are some very, very, very disturbed people floating around, and it's just wise not to. And it, you know, you can either call the police or they just tell you chuck it in the bin, because whatever's in there is not something you want anywhere near your house.
Huh? Okay. I
won't go further than that. I will just say that. I would just say that it's just a thing.
Yeah. All right.
There are people who watch The Sound of Music and took away all the wrong lessons. They're like, you know, like brown paper packages inside of our streams are some of my favorite things. Also Nazis. Like that was what they took away. Sound of Music.
Wow. Herr Gruber, it's a Christmas present. Wunderbar. I love it. Okay.
So, I'm going to turn to Matisse. You ready?
Oui, Captain.
Let's go. I'll set up a comms link with you guys when I get there.
As you work your way out of the hall. Oh, sorry. Did you want to say something to them before they left?
Oh, as I walk them towards the exit, I'll ask Vector if there's how many, like if there's any Grimm between here and our ship.
No. But they are on their way very, very quickly. Many of them, more than even you can handle, from what I've seen.
The path is clear, Doctor and Doctor Captain, but you should hurry.
Done. You ready for a little jog?
Matisse is already halfway down the corridor.
She does her best to jog, but because of her bad hip, it's not fast. And she's just kind of limping and cursing the whole way.
As you're getting close and you start turning the corner to go towards the corridor, you hear shouting from down at the far end of the corridor opposite of where the ship that the rest of the crew is on, and you all of a sudden you start hearing blaster fire coming your way, but none of it hits because it's so far down the corridor, but they see you going around to get on get to your ship.
Okay.
Cece and Kynes, you make your way up a ramp into a big common area room, and then down a main corridor to the main bridge of the ship.
We'll go in front of CC.
Okay.
unless they aren't letting me for whatever reason.
Gotcha.
I mean, if you want to, I will let you, but I will have my pulse rifle out and kind of covering.
Going through here, so far you do not come in contact with anyone at all.
That's great. We just keep on going.
Okay.
So, how did you know to tell the captain doctor that the way was clear? Did you just want them to hurry? Like, what were you doing there?
The sensors for the station give us that information.
You have access to the sensors to the station?
It's not too hard to access computer systems if you know what you're doing.
I'll take your word for it. From one computer to not a computer.
So you get to the main bridge. It's a relatively small bridge. There's 3 main seats. As the captain, you know where the main seat that you would go to sit at, CC, is. You want to try and disconnect from the station and fly out of here?
So the station seems kind of rickety, right?
Right. It's all like tubes and stuff, kind of all connected, like almost like.
There's a bunch of Grimm coming.
Yep.
Based on how long it took us to get to the bridge and how far our ship was from this ship, do I think those two would have made it to our ship already?
Probably within another minute or two.
Then I'm gonna wait until I think they're there. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna disconnect. I'm just gonna burn.
Okay. So you get things started up. Dr. Z and Matisse, you make it over to your ship. You unlock it. You get on, and are you going to take off out of there?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
CC, you can see your old ship starting to fire up. Go ahead and roll a piloting check, Dr. Z.
Well, I'm going to re-roll that with a favor.
Hell yeah.
That is much better. That's a 15.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to rip the airlock with me.
Okay, so you're not going to disconnect. You're just going to tear off. Okay?
Yeah. I want to see those Grimm float through space.
Excellent.
I am going to do a barrel roll as I pull away. I rolled a 23.
Awesome. So, as you barrel roll out of there, you're going like almost like underneath the space, the science ship that CC's piloting as he tears off, and you see it like kind of like rip, almost like a dryer vent ripping off, and you can see like these black suits starting to float out as like all of a sudden the cold hits them, and you can see like everything starting to like crystallize, and what was black all of a sudden just completely gets covered in a frosty white as they're just kind of floating through the atmospheres. Easily like probably 60 Grimm all start to get sucked out into the atmosphere of the Marauder's cryosphere. You're just starting to fly up off the surface of the planet. What are you communicating to each other?
Cece, you clear?
I'm clear. Do you think someone should tell them that they're infested with Grimm? Or do you think they already know?
I think they already know. And if not, once we get this thing put together, we can take care of it.
I am gonna. Well, this is happening. Just I'm gonna start clearing the ship.
Okay.
You gotta clean. You gotta clean
Yeah,
if you're the cleaner.
of course. Yeah.
I guess I want to look for some place where we can kind of rendezvous. That might be a little bit not too far from here, but out of the way, a little secluded.
Okay. So your knowledge of the system, you could jump from Marauder's cryosphere to like 66 Pegasi C in very little time, like maybe like just a couple hours, if you'd like to rendezvous outside the orbit there or on the planet itself.
Yeah, that sounds like a night. So I'll drop a pin, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
On the location where we want to go to.
Got it.
So you're starting to do that.
Is that an inhabited area?
It is. There are people there.
I don't know that we want to go someplace where there are people. Can we dock the ships together?
You could try to.
Is there the necessary equipment?
Oh yeah, actually. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, the science ship has docking, like this. The science ship that Cece's piloting has places on top on either side to be able to dock it down into.
Okay.
So you could fly just out into the middle of nowhere and dock and connect.
We'd probably want to do that then.
Let's do that.
Okay.
And then once we've got everything pulled together, we can look at going someplace and getting a drink.
As I look through this ship, do I find anything? Do I find any things that are alive that need to not be? That's really the primary concern.
Yes. So as you work your way through, you're going through. You find a bunch of quarters, probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quarters, a bar area, and you find, because it's a science ship, you find 4 different compartments that are different facilities for science, a med bay, a couple others. In one, you do find like someone completely just studying what looks like a human. As you get up to the door, you can see through like the clear glass into the science room. You see them like doing research and writing things down and looking out their glass window at the space beyond, and just kind of writing stuff down, tapping things on a computer screen, writing more things down.
Hello.
So you open the door and walk in?
Yeah.
Okay. And you say that, and oh! Who are you?
My name is Kynes.
Hi, Kynes. Where are we going?
Who are you?
What's I'm okay. Where are we going?
No. Who are you?
I'm Sal. And you said you're Kynes?
Hello.
Hello, Kynes. Where are we going?
Oh, we're gonna murder him so hard.
We are going out into space.
We're going on an adventure.
I don't recognize you.
We have not met before. What are you doing on this ship?
Solving puzzles.
What types of puzzles?
I don't know if I'm authorized to tell you what type of puzzles. Do you have any sort of credentials?
Do you have any sort of credentials?
And then, like, they lift up a little little badge that's hanging off their lab coat. I'm the local scientist.
Is it just like they're in like Dr. Sal? Is that what it says?
Yeah. Dr. Sal,
I
comma
pull my
PhD.
vest aside that just says Kynes 57 engraved in my chest.
What color shirt is this guy wearing?
It's
Bright red.
Yep. No, it's just a gray lab outfit.
Doesn't matter what color shirt he's wearing. He's wearing brown pants, and that's what's most important. Yeah, I show him like the equivalent thing on.
Did the arachnid send you? Are you working for the arachnid?
The arachnid has gotten me up to date on all the important information.
Okay. Okay. Well, can you tell me where we're going aside from space?
Oh, we are about to assemble the device.
Okay, so I guess I will get everything ready then. Did the arachnid say anything about Betty?
He did not say anything about Betty. Wait, just so I know, because I know people's names. Was Betty one of the doctors who we killed last session?
No.
Yeah. Okay. He did not mention anything about Betty to me.
Okay. Okay. Let me get my things and I'll meet you down.
Oh no, you are fine. You can stay here. We have everything under control.
Okay. Okay. Are you sure? I mean, the arachnid said I had to help put it all together.
I don't think that should be an issue.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you need me, just call me. I'll be in the room.
Where was Betty the last time you saw them?
It's been over a year. And all I've seen are video feeds.
Excellent. Have you become infected?
Oh, no. No, I've stayed in this room. I've stayed away from everything. Just trying to solve the puzzles.
Not necessarily on them, but is there any sign of worm stuff around that I've seen as I've been going through the ship?
No, not that you've noticed.
Okay, cool. And what are the puzzles again?
Figuring out how to put the pieces of this device together, and then how to reverse engineer it.
Interesting. Why would you want to reverse engineer it?
I don't. But they have Betty.
Excellent. I'll tell you what. Why don't you take a break?
Where? I'm not leaving this room unless the arachnid tells me to.
You are welcome to stay in this room or to leave as far as I'm concerned. However, I do not think that you need to continue along that path of inquiry. I'll see what I can do about finding Betty.
Thank you.
I want to lock this dude in.
Okay. You leave and you see like his eyes just kind of follow you as you're leaving, and then you work on the console outside and lock him in.
You guys, I just want to point out we just interacted with an NPC we didn't kill. I think we've grown.
Hey!
Yay!
Yes.
There's a first time for everything.
Well, technically, I didn't kill the god.
There are a lot of people the first session who didn't die.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I'll notify. Bing bong bing. Cece, there is a scientist who is in a lab down here. I told him to take a break. He seems to be harmless and mostly worried about a loved one.
Yeah, we don't have a great track record with scientists.
Well, we don't, but I do think that he is, at this moment, harmless since I have locked him inside of his laboratory and he cannot escape.
That's fine.
He didn't want to leave his laboratory under any circumstances.
That's fine. That works. Really, it's the docs. I think they get jealous when they get around other sciencey people.
I do agree.
So while you're traveling, is there anything that Matisse and Dr. Z are doing?
I'm going to set it to autopilot and grab Matisse by the front of his coat and drag him to my quarters, since it's the makeshift med bay, apparently.
Listen, Captain, I am very flattered, and Lord knows it has been quite some time since anyone has invited me back to their quarters.
Matisse, if you don't want my knee,
I think my heart is too fragile. What?
If you don't want my knee in your groin, I suggest you get in there and let me take whatever else is in your arm out.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, I suppose. I mean, it would be very silly of me not to trust you after, of course, I mean, it would be very silly and very... You see he's, like, standing at the front entrance, and he's just like, yeah, this is just, and then he goes in.
Go ahead. And once he's in, she's going to pull out, like, a kit and set it down. And it's got her old notes and some scalpels and medical instruments. But first she pulls out the notes and kind of sets them down and looks at them for a moment. And she looks at his arm. So you're sure they're still in your arm?
Look, I managed to get one out of the arm because I felt it wriggling against the tourniquet, which gave me enough to be able to, you know, just sort of pull it out. But I...
Do you feel any more?
Do I feel any more if I, like, kind of, like, clench my fist and... Feel that?
No,
Brian?
you don't, as you're clenching, you don't feel anything out of the ordinary at all.
Right, I don't feel anything. But I also know that they have a neural numbing agent to, like, obviously, you know, victims and yada yada yada. Otherwise, they'd all be in pain. Don't we have a scanner? I mean, do we have a scanner on board?
Not on this ship.
No.
Ah, crap. Well, look, as much as I love exploratory surgery, I mean, the tourniquet's on. My fingers are going a bit numb, so I think we need to at least take a look at it.
I pull out the scalpel.
Okay.
And she looks at her notes for a moment and goes back to his arm and makes an incision. And it's in this pattern. It's not just a single slice. It's actually sort of a glyph-looking slice. And between the lines, she cuts more, and it almost starts to look like a circuit board covering the base of his arm, like from here to here.
Ah.
Okay. Oh, you're fine. I had cranial surgery without anesthetic. Quit crying.
It's true, but there aren't nerves in your skull.
Roll a presence test just to see how well you do whatever you're trying to do.
I'm gonna blow a favor to re-roll that.
Oh my god.
Natty 20.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're carving it and it looks just like a circuit board. It looks perfect. As you're slicing, you don't find anything out of the ordinary.
I'm not seeing anything. And the glyph isn't igniting, so that looks good. Alright. And she bandages his arm.
Brian keeps on gleefully trying to suppress a smile every time something doesn't go right. Like, that's the real problem in this moment. The problem is not that you can't find it. It's that Brian can't keep that smile down. That's the real
I'm enjoying which direction you all are taking it, that's all.
Matisse is sitting there going, oh, it's feel a little lightheaded. I became Irish for some reason. Just let me get back to my how do you say lightheaded? I am feeling a bit lightheaded. Just I feel
probably from blood loss.
Yeah, there's definitely blood welling up around your arm from all the numerous slices.
You'll be fine. And I'm going to undo the tourniquet.
Okay. As you do that, blood just starts gushing out.
Oh.
And then I retie it.
Okay. Lose a hit point, Matisse.
Oh. Why am I wet?
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to, Matisse. All right. You look pretty good. And she packs the notes.
This is the grievous wound.
You'll be fine.
As you do that, we'll get right back to this. Is there anything, Kynes and Cece, that you wanted to do while after leaving Sal?
I mean, like, I was just exploring the ship to figure out what's in it. So unless there's something really cool I should roll for, after I'm done making sure there's no one and nothing important lingering around the ship, I'm going to go start unpacking the pieces of the thing.
Okay, so you're starting to do that, and Matisse and Dr. Z, roll a presence test as you're starting to clean up from all the blood spill.
Oh. 13.
Okay.
17.
Okay. Matisse, you see something light, like very tiny, like the size of like the head of a pin, like a pin in a pin cushion, and you see it almost. It's like you almost missed it, but it's like a slight like blinking that just under the red of the blue, or I mean the red of the blood, just a like pulsing like light. And as that happens, all of a sudden, Cece, you see a bunch of shapes appear outside of the ship where you're flying, just materializing. All these vessels, these other ships, just appearing out of nowhere. Dr. Z, Matisse, your ship, the sensors start going off as though there are things in the proximity of the autopilot that are going to be in the way of where you're piloting to.
I race out of the room up to the bridge.
I'm gonna pick up this thing, and I'm gonna steal it, because it's mine. They've stolen things from me before, and I'm gonna try and stitch my arm because I am very bloody, and that's what I will do.
They're very fine cuts.
Oh yeah. But
Yeah.
the circuit board, right? Like Yep, and glyphs. Yeah, I'm definitely trying to. I mean, I'm a good. I mean, they're nice, clean cuts. So but there's just a lot of them,
and they're very fine. Yep.
And they're super fine. So I'm doing micro sewing of my like arms, which will actually scar really cool, I think, for Matisse's sake. With I presume an agility because I need like to be quite nimble.
Yeah. That sounds good.
I got a 15.
Okay. You seem to sew it up pretty okay. It's going to definitely do some scarring because Dr. Z put a lot of cuts in there.
Yeah.
Right,
and then I'll bandage it up with a gauze, and then I'll come out.
Okay. While you're doing all that, Kynes, you're starting to unpack while Cece's piloting, and you see that the other two pieces of the puzzle are on this ship. So you now, that combined with what's on the other ship, you have all the pieces to build this device.
How big are they?
They're like, one of them's probably like the size of like a Cooper Mini, and the other one is more like the size of like a motorcycle with a sidecar.
Okay, so these are the two medium-sized pieces.
Yes.
Of the apparatus.
Yep.
So the objects that are appearing around the ship, like uncloaking ships.
Yes, like all of a sudden these large ships are appearing all in your path. It's like a whole armada just appeared right before your very ships, and all of a sudden, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know this isn't gonna be the case, but there's a very deep down secret part of me that's like, oh my god, King Matisse is dead, and then the Armada has come to pick up the member of the royal family, or something. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm sure this blue thing, this blinking thing, has to do with that thing, but I don't know what it is or why it was in me.
Homing beacon.
Are there any markings on the ships?
As you're looking, you realize that this ship is called Marlowe, which had been mentioned in the previous episode. Something about something called Marlowe.
I know that Marlowe is important.
Yep. There was that, and then all of a sudden, both ships are getting hailed on the comms.
I will, open up.
I do too.
Both of you get a projection screen of a really beat up arachnid with what looks like a number of Grimm behind him, wearing the full black armor with masks, like the helmets off. It's like, you have something that belongs to me.
Finders keepers. I haven't had the pleasure.
You've got all
spider douche.
The pieces, and that's my ship. And we found you. And then you see him, like, look at his finger and just kind of lick and taste his fingernail. It's like, one of your people is filthy.
Actually, all of us are, but what do you want?
We want what you have. We want the pieces.
How about you give us a moment to assemble it, and then we can discuss it.
I don't think that's going to be an option.
Well, why in the hell would I turn over a weapon against the Grimm to you when you're working with them?
It's inevitable. We are going to conquer the universe. That will just
well, then it shouldn't bother you if we take this one.
What are the chances of this ship outrunning those ships?
A science ship is pretty slim.
Yeah.
And hang on. There's got to be some resolution we can come to. Oh, you turned off. Hang on. Didn't you turn off? Did you turn off the comm for a minute? No. Okay. There has to be some resolution we can come to.
I'm listening.
How about
I've made my offer.
How about you just give us the worm that you have in the tank?
That's not going to work.
Do you see all...
It's part of the apparatus.
But do you see all of the ships that we have around you? You have no chance of survival.
But I know that if you truly want these, then you're not going to blow us out of the sky.
Interesting.
There's been a lot of concern for the worm in the tank. What's his name? Frankie, I think?
Yes. Frankie must return home.
Right. So as long as we have him, you're not going to blow us up. Are you?
You may be onto something. So, we're supposed to end
nearby.
There are some things nearby, but we're supposed to end in 3 minutes. So, should this be the end of season 1 and see if we can maybe pull together some continuing like one shots here and there to see where it goes?
I'm down.
That's completely up to you.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If the GM makes game, players will come.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna cut that little chunk out. Well, that is where we will leave it for the end of season 1 of Vast Grimm RADiculous Terror, because there's a whole armada of Grimm up against this small legion who have managed to grab all these pieces. Four of you.
Well, 5 if we count Sal. And I think Sal's going to become our unofficial mascot.
Sal's going to be the real turn in this entire thing.
He's going to be the hero of the story.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Sal is just our spare, right? Like we're like someone's about to hit the dirt hard, and then it's like, oh, well, now we have Sal.
Oh, hey, Sal. What's going on?
Hello, Sal.
Well,
you have no idea how invested you are in what's about to happen.
Oh, bless him.
before we wrap up, Michael, would you like to tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, guys. My name's Michael. I'm the DeadAussieGamer. I played Matisse in this wonderful adventure. Thank you, of course, for having me. You can find me on twitch.tv/DeadAussieGamer, where you can find me running a bunch of different games. I've got a huge variety of shows that are coming up in the new year, including a voice acting coaching series that I'm going to be kicking off, where Hero Forge has just released a thing where they're going to be community Hero Forge backstories and models and stuff, and I'm going to go through there and I'm going to try and voice act some of your characters and make little dialogues and stuff with my actor friends. So yay, that's
awesome.
That's what I'm
Nice.
Very cool. And Katie?
Yes. Hi, Katie Downey, aka Goblinkatie. You can find me on all the socials at Goblinkatie. I had an absolutely amazing time playing Captain Dr. Z, or Dr. Captain Z. I can never remember which one it is. But thank you. It has been a wonderful experience. You can catch me every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/D4DND. And let me just double check that. We just started a new channel. So. But you can catch me there. You can also catch it on, and this is the D4 stream, you can also catch that on D&D's Twitch channel. We are hosted by them. So, and on Thursday nights, you can catch me on the Dawnbringers on Mini Terrain Domain. And Sunday mornings, you can catch me on my Twitch channel playing New World with D&D Jordan Lee.
Excellent.
And that was the most disjointed goodbye I've ever done.
And Dave, tell us where folks can find you.
Nerdarchy, all the places, website, social, and YouTube mainly. But right now, we actually, when this goes up, we'll probably still be in the middle of a Kickstarter for the Mage Forge Magic Items for 5th edition. It's a deluxe box set of 250 tarot-sized magic item cards. Maybe we can get Brian to put the link in the description.
I certainly will.
It's actually D4RPG. Sorry.
Yes.
And can I also say on the Kickstarter, if for nothing else, the artwork on the items and stuff that is in that Kickstarter is freaking mind-blowing. Like, I love just how much attention to detail some of these items have actually gotten them. So definitely, you'd be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't check out that Kickstarter.
Absolutely. And Tony, can you tell us where folks can find you?
Yeah, my name's Tony Vicinda. I've been playing robot, emobot with a heart that's now a bomb, and a body that's covered in glitter. Kinds57, and you can find me at +1EXP across all social media platforms. +1 is a platform dedicated to multi-classing and tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. We love to help amazing players find great designers whose games they can love, and great designers find amazing players who love their games. We cover a ton of indie RPGs. We also make our own indie RPGs that you can find at +1 Games, or again, find us at +1EXP across any social media platform. When this comes out, we will be itch funding, which is using the itch.io platform to do some basic crowdfunding. The Ashcan, the beta version of our space RPG called Through the Void. It's a minimalist system, rules fit on one page. If you like Vast Grimm, you'll probably enjoy Through the Void as well. So please go check it out at ttRPG.link/TTV.
And we can put that in the links as well. You guys have been a phenomenal group to get to play with. So thank you so much for bringing so much character to the game. It has been a total blast to get to play this season with you, and I look forward to getting to hang out with all of you again in the near future. So that's it for this season. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next time somewhere on the network. Bye.
Stay nerdy.